Hello friends, welcome back to The Casual Foodist. I'm Brianna, and as far as I'm concerned, you can never have too many chicken recipes, nor can you have too many one-pot dinner recipes. And tonight's dinner, I've got you covered on both. We are going to be making a creamy spinach and artichoke orzo, as well as some really easy and delicious homemade chicken meatballs. It's going to all cook together in one pan. It's going to be delicious. Let's get started. So for this meal, we are going to need 1 pound of ground chicken breast, 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs, another 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder, and then 1 egg to bind our meatballs all together. And for the pasta, we are going to need 1 cup of orzo pasta. And orzo is this little rice-shaped pasta. Cooks really quickly and it's very delicious. One of my favorite pastas to cook with. For liquid, we are going to need 2 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of milk. I've already gone ahead and put it all in here together. About 4 ounces of chopped marinated artichoke hearts. That'll be about half of this jar. 2 cups of spinach, a little bit of fresh lemon juice to brighten everything up. Another 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. This is just going to make our orzo really creamy and delicious. And then for most recipes, we'll need a little bit of olive oil, some kosher salt, and some ground black pepper. Let's start by making our meatballs. I have already gone ahead and put in my ground chicken breast into this bowl. And to that, we are going to add in our 1/2 cup of panko breadcrumbs. And these are just going to help our chicken meatballs come together. Our 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Really, when it comes to Parmesan, you can never have too much. I've got 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. This is just going to make our meatballs nice and flavorful. They all go in there. A few twists of ground black pepper. A few pinches of salt. And then to help our meatballs bind, we are just going to add in 1 large egg. And when it comes to mixing meatballs, these are the best tools we got. So don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and go ahead and get on in there. All right, our meatballs are nice and combined. Let's go ahead and head over to the stove. All right, so I have got my cast iron skillet here over medium heat, and we are just going to add in about a tablespoon of olive oil. And then to form our meatballs, we are just going to use this cookie scoop. Using a cookie scoop really makes forming these meatballs really easy. And as you can see, they come out pretty uniformly, and we are just going to put this right into our pan. And depending on your cookie scoop, this is going to make anywhere from 12 to 16 meatballs. All right, so we are going to cook these chicken meatballs for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side. And these guys are just about done with that portion. We're just going to move them off to the plate here. And just be aware, these chicken meatballs are not yet fully cooked. They will be finishing their cooking process in the orzo in just a few minutes. All right, now we are going to add in our orzo. And again, we have 1 cup of orzo here. And we are just going to let this sit in the pan for just a minute to toast up and give our dish a little bit more flavor. All right, so our orzo has started to brown a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and add in our liquid. And again, I've got I've got 2 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of milk in here. And I'll just take a moment to stir around, make sure nothing is stuck on the bottom here. And this is a great time to start seasoning our pasta. So I'm just going to add in a good pinch of salt. And a little bit of ground black pepper. And again, towards the end, if you feel you need a little bit more salt or pepper, you can always add that in later. So we're going to go ahead and let this orzo cook for about 5 minutes or until about half of the liquid has absorbed, and then we'll start to add in a few more ingredients. All right, while that pasta is cooking down, I'm going to take this opportunity to chop up some of our marinated artichokes. And I've got about half of this jar. Marinated artichokes are one of my favorite Italian antipasti. And of course, we all love them in a good creamy spinach artichoke dip. All right, so our orzo has absorbed quite a bit of liquid. So let's go ahead and add in those marinated artichokes. These are going to bring a lot of flavor to this dish. And then we're also going to add our 2 cups of spinach at this point. When you add fresh spinach to a dish, it always seems like it's a lot, but it's going to cook down really quick. You can see it's already starting to cook down as we speak. At this point, we are just going to go ahead and add our meatballs back in. You can go ahead and snuggle them right into that orzo. And they're going to finish the cooking process while the orzo cooks as well. And once all the meatballs are in here, we are going to allow this to cook for another 5 to 7 minutes or until that liquid is mostly absorbed. And you may want to go ahead and stir on occasion to make sure your orzo is not sticking to the bottom of the pan. All right, now that we've got all of our meatballs back in the pan, we are going to let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the liquid has fully absorbed. And you may want to stir this occasionally just to make sure that orzo doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. All right, guys, this orzo is almost done. It is looking and smelling fantastic. We are just going to squeeze in a little bit of lemon juice for some brightness and a little bit of acid. And then sprinkle in a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Again, you can never have too much Parmesan. I'm just going to stir this all in. And this dish is coming together great. It's really creamy. And I'm loving how this is looking right now. All right, guys, so this creamy spinach and artichoke orzo with homemade chicken meatballs is all done. It took less than 30 minutes and it's got all of my favorite flavors from that classic spinach and artichoke dip. I can't wait, so I'm gonna go ahead and serve myself up a little portion here. All right, so I've got myself a little portion here and I can't wait to dig in. Just look at how creamy this is. You guys are going to love this. You can find a link to the recipe below or at casualfoodist.com. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to The Casual Foodist for more recipes like this.